Global Broadcasting Networks presents Military Mom Talk Radio. We know behind every soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine is the family supporting them. With over 200 episodes in 17 countries, over 5 seasons, with 3 million monthly listeners, we are radio strong. Now here are your hosts, Sandra, Beck, and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Robin Boyd, and we've got a great show today. We are going to be visiting with Bill Lockard. He is a retired lieutenant colonel who served in the Army on active duty for 21 years. He fought in Operation Desert Storm, and he commanded a howitzer battery while deployed to Bosnia. Now, he deployed to Baghdad as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and he served several times in Kuwait and Egypt. Now, this is what's neat about this guy, Rob. He holds a master's degree, actually master's degree plural, in public administration and managerial science. And when he retired, he followed his passion to help military families by becoming a trained financial coach. Now, I want to be really clear with everybody here that he's not on here to sell us financial programs or insurance, or he's not a stockbroker. He's not going to sell you a mutual fund. We are going to talk today about his book, How to Be a Millionaire a Millionaire Military Family. It's killing me today with all these M's. But we want to talk about this because one of the things that keeps us up at night is financial stress. I mean, Rob, I know I felt it. I bet you have too.
Absolutely. You do. There's something that everything else in your day, your week, your life can be just humming right along, but the underlying stress of a financial issue, or how are you going to make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck, is really tough. And I think military families do have a little bit more of a challenge in that not only is that income you're not going to have your review like a normal public company would, but you're going to maybe not have your spouse as dependable a second income if you're moving a lot. It's difficult. You kind of up and leave, and that other person, the spouse, may have to start all over again, find a different job. If there are children, you've got to find different child care before you can decide where you can work. That's the biggest challenge of all.
Well, Robin, that's what, my company, Motherhood Incorporated, that employs moms to work in the tech field from home. We have so many military wives working for us because they can't sustain traditional jobs. When you're moving from place to place, it's really hard for military spouses to stay employed. And so when financial stress comes, it really impacts everybody. And I will tell you, the first thing that when I'm under stress, 2 things happen. I eat too much and then I can't sleep.
That's right. That's right. Although, Sandra, we've been very fortunate to be chatting a little bit in the last couple of weeks about sleeping better. And I think we had mentioned last week, but have you visited a Sleep Number store recently? Because talking about a better night's sleep, one of the best ways to get a start on that sleep is to improve and get a better mattress.
Well, I think both a mattress and a pillow. One of the things that I learned, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to say it because I think it's true of most families. My pillows are older than my kids. Truly. They're the last time I invested in bedding for myself, my bed was 26 years old before I got my Sleep Number bed. And my pillows, my oldest is 13. And the last time I can remember buying a pillow, and Rob, it was probably for his bed, like his baby bed. I mean, it's not something that I ever really thought of until I actually got my bed and got a new bed and laid on it and laid on this pillow that because you just tolerate things for so long. And I was having back pain and neck pain and everything was stiff and achy when I got up. And I just thought it was being a mom. I never attributed it to being the wrong pillow or the wrong bed.
And how many times do you you buy a pillow and you get it home and it just doesn't feel good after a couple of times? I think that's the biggest challenge. And one of the neatest things that your Sleep Number store has is something called a Comfort Fit pillow. It's just one of those perfect combinations between conforming to your body and giving you the right support, as well as being soft and comfortable, because you certainly don't want to go lay on a pillow that feels like you're on a cement brick.
Well, and the thing is, I wasn't sure. Like, when I went there and they're like, oh, it has this unique fill blend of memory foam and premium down alternative fibers. Now I'm a big down girl and I like natural goose down. So I was kind of like, well, I'll try it and I'll see. But I will tell you, it was really nice. It kind of cradled my head. It wasn't hot. It wasn't weird. It wasn't too like. I was really surprised, and I'm really picky. I'm the one that I got one set of sheets and I was just happy for it to be my set of sheets for the rest of my life. But, I was surprised at how much I didn't know about having a good bed.
Right. Truly, it does make a difference to have the right bed, the right mattress comfort for you, and of course, the right pillow. And if you are interested in a new pillow, Sleep Number right now is having a wonderful special. They are going to have this special through November 20th, that if you purchase one Comfort Fit pillow at a Sleep Number store near you, you can buy a second one for 50% off. So that right there, there you go, San. You've got your brand new bedding all ready for you.
I know, and there's a discount. Like, that's the one thing that I was really excited about when I went into Sleep Number. I saw that they supported Blue Star families, so that was really meaningful to me. But they're running a military discount right now, along with some other specials. Rob, why don't you tell us about those?
Well, those specials for the military are only through the November 14th. So if you are interested and want to find out a little bit about their military specials, do that right away. And if you're not sure where there's a local Sleep Number store near you, just visit sleepnumber.com and you're going to find one of those 500 plus stores that are across our country. And then the other thing.
And you got to tell them Military Mom sent you. That's the most important part.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was getting there, Zan.
Keep us on the air. Mama needs to eat.
No.
Just kidding.
Well, what I was trying to say was, I think one of the neatest things too is that they have a semi-annual special coming along, and that's going to be through November 20th. That I don't know if you tried out their Queen Sleep Number Classic Special Edition. That had that Sleep IQ technology, and it is just right now $15.99, which is a $500 savings. So
I tried every one, Rob. I was like Sleeping Beauty. I'm like, this bed is too small. This bed is too. Oh, this bed's just right. I like the air conditioned bed and the heated bed. Like, that rocked my world.
Well, and what I was so impressed with was that there were so many beds to choose from, but I love the customization. You lay on that bed, you can find your own number. What did you say your number was?
Oh, I was 45.
You were 45. I'm about a 35, so that I smooshed right down into it. But I find that some nights you do need a little more support, and that's one of the beauties of the Sleep Number adjustment, is to be able to change that number if you need a little more support. You had a rough day, you were out doing something pretty strenuous, you might need a little bit more support, and you can adjust it day by day by day. So how perfect is that?
That is wonderful. Like, I'm just so excited that we can bring these specials to our listeners, because one of the things that I noticed is that once my sleep was better, I was less of like mommy monster in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, because I think our rest is really, really important.
It really is. And I think if you are resting better, everything else falls into place. The other stresses in our lives. We were talking about stress a couple of weeks ago, and talking about sometimes you just can't see beyond the end of your nose. You are just so stressed. You're so wrapped up in how can I manage this? How can I deal with the finances? How can I deal with the kids? Spouse is going to be deployed pretty soon. You just don't have the wherewithal to focus. And I think getting that good night's sleep, getting that basic foundation that you just need to get that good rest, that's just going to set everything else into motion, and you're going to be able to conquer the world. You're just going to be super person.
Well, and super person is what we need to be all the time, and especially, with all the unique challenges and conditions faced by the military family. One of the things I did want to say, and I can't remember if you said it, was that special financing is available to November 14th, and then also to bring in your active duty, your military ID or your veteran ID to take advantage of these specials. Because one of the things as a single mom, Rob, and I'm so supporting of my 2 elementary school age kids and my 82-year-old dad, that I found was that it wasn't as expensive as I thought. I really thought, I kind of skipped by the store in the mall because I'm like, I can't afford this. But, when I saw that they had a discount and I went in there and I thought I would take a look, I was really surprised that the prices weren't crazy.
No, they really aren't. They're so affordable, and especially with the financing, the ability to do some very, very realistic financing, it's really affordable. So we hope everybody goes to sleepnumber.com, find the Sleep Number store that's nearest you, and go in and check out that Comfort Fit pillow, and especially when you can buy one and get one 50% off. What a deal. That is through November 20th. You'll also want to check out their semi-annual sale, that Queen's Sleep Number Classic Special Edition with Sleep IQ technology is just $15.99. So be sure to go and find the Sleep Number store near you at sleepnumber.com, and make sure you let them know Military Mom Talk Radio sent you.
We love that. We sent you for a good night's sleep.
That's right. That's right. Who have we got coming after the break, Sam?
We have got Bill Lockard, and he's going to talk to us about being a millionaire military family. His book's available on Amazon, and we're going to talk to him. And it's only 99 cents on Amazon, which is so cool. We like books that are only $1.
99 cents. You can't go wrong. You got to check it out. So do stay with us. We'll be with Bill Lockard right after the break here on Military Mom Talk Radio. So hope you stay with us. Get comfy, get a drink, put your feet up, and stay with us for the next hour. We've got lots more ahead. Stay with us on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Would you like to know how to bring more ease to all the decisions you need to make in life? Knowing your core values is the first step in Joyce's free live masterclass. You'll discover your top 5 core values in as little as 45 minutes. Join her now at freegiftfromjoyce.com.
It's words you never heard.
Did you hear about Wesley, the golden retriever puppy from Michigan that was fitted with braces? Before you think this is a bona fide insanity, Wesley was born with teeth that were so crooked he couldn't shut his mouth all the way. This was affecting his ability to eat properly. So his owners took him to the Harborfront Hospital for Animals and Veterinary Dental Solutions, where a doggy orthodontist prescribed him a set of braces. And now, pictures of Wesley smiling with his bright, shiny braces have been circling the internet. With all that metal wrapped around their teeth, some would think that most dogs would become bruxomaniacs, but not Wesley. He doesn't mind the braces at all, and is now able to eat his food with gusto. A bruxomaniac is someone with an uncontrollable urge to grind their teeth.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Word.
It's words you never heard.
Did you hear about Wesley, the golden retriever puppy from Michigan that was fitted with braces? Before you think this is a bona fide insanity, Wesley was born with teeth that were so crooked he couldn't shut his mouth all the way. This was affecting his ability to eat properly. So his owners took him to the Harborfront Hospital for Animals and Veterinary Dental Solutions, where a doggy orthodontist prescribed him a set of braces. And now, pictures of Wesley smiling with his bright, shiny braces have been circling the internet. With all that metal wrapped around their teeth, some would think that most dogs would become Bruxomaniacs, but not Wesley. He doesn't mind the braces at all, and is now able to eat his food with gusto. A Bruxomaniac is someone with an uncontrollable urge to grind their teeth.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
We're back with more great conversation on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Hey, Military Moms, this is Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd, and this is Military Mom Talk Radio, and we are visiting today with Bill Lockard. He's a retired lieutenant colonel who wrote a book, How to Be a Millionaire Military Family. That's so hard to say, Rob. Try and say it, Millionaire Military Family. And I practiced it for today's show.
Well, being a millionaire military family, see, it is a little challenging, is challenging in more ways than one. And that's why we have Bill on to help us. It's almost difficult to fathom those kinds of numbers. Six figures is a little tough. Bill, we're so glad you're with us. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you both for letting me come on today.
And so, Bill, you've had a great military career. And, before we get into, like what it is you're teaching and things like that, why did you decide to have this be your focus? You had a nice military career. You've got degrees in public administration and managerial science. You've got experience in Bosnia, Baghdad, Kuwait, Egypt. I mean, why financial coaching of all things after your military career?
Well, honestly, because like so many other people, I needed this type of coaching myself. I was in the same situation that so many military families find themselves in. My wife and I, we were using credit cards. We had car loans out. We had personal loans out. We had more bills than my LES could cover on any given month. And we thought we were doing all the right things. We were paying off our credit card statement each month, but still it seemed like we were running 50 miles an hour on a treadmill. We were working really hard, thinking we were doing the right things, but never really making any forward progress. We tried to put money away for our retirement and for our savings, but it just seemed like by the middle of the month, my LES was already spent. So we would spend the second half of the month on credit cards and then start the whole cycle all over again. Back then, we were in our 30s. We had certainly heard of what a budget was, but we never tried to apply it to our own personal lives. We knew that there had to be a better way to get around to actually obtain some of the goals that we wanted for our lives. We knew that we wanted to be able to do things like go on vacations and be able to buy things that we need for our kids, and eventually also be able to retire, not just relying on the Army pension, but just be able to retire the way we wanted to, with dignity and being able to do the type of things that we wanted to spend our later years in. So we sought help, we got help, and we figured out how to first take a good, honest look at the debt that we were holding on to. We figured out how to write a budget for ourselves so that we could tell our money where to go instead of trying to figure out where it went. And we paid off all of our debts. And by the time in 2010, when I was a lieutenant colonel, we actually paid off our house and became completely debt-free. And then things just started clicking right along. And by the time I got out of the Army, I knew that I had a passion not just to continue to help people with this, either at my church or in my local area, but to spread out and try to help as many military families as I possibly could, because I needed that help when I was in the military. My wife and I definitely benefited from it. And I think there is a unique opportunity now, especially for young military families, to spend 20 or 25 years in the military, doing honorable service for our country, but yet also leverage the tools that are now available for people so that when they retire, they will have that six-figure nest egg waiting for them so that they can retire with dignity. They can open up doors, that they can follow their passions and do the things that they want to do and not just have to go, leave the military and then go out and find themselves a job just to try to make ends meet and pay off their bills. It's a type of vision I have not only for myself and my kids, but for all of those military families that continue to serve today. It's a realistic goal to make. It's not something that's easy to do. It takes some sacrifice. It certainly takes some prior planning, but just think about that when you're in your early 40s and you leave the military honorably and you're ready to start that new life, you've got this nest egg, this $1 million that is sitting there that's going to be able to support you and take away some of those financial anxieties that I know from my own personal experience kept me awake at night during many days during my military service.
Bill, you just said something which kind of intrigues me. You said, tell your money where to go instead of looking at where it went. That really is, that's a mission statement right there. When you look at your money that's coming in, you know what you're getting every week, every month for income. You look at all of the bills as to where that money's got to go. What was your first step in setting up this new budget that's going to help you get on the right path?
Well, for us, it's and what I tell my clients is when you're starting a budget, it's going to take a couple of months. It's going to take a couple of iterations for you to get good at doing a budget. So the first thing I tell people is keep it simple. I know that there's a lot of smartphone apps that allow you to do budgets, and there's certainly a lot of computer programs you can buy or download. But I like my clients to start just with a pad of paper, a pen, and a calculator to start their budgets and work up from there until they find a budget, a type of budget that they can use that's good for them. Some people like the smartphone apps. Some people like huge spreadsheets on their computers, but it starts with just a pad of paper, a pen, and a calculator. And you identify how much money's coming in. You identify all of the different reasons for the money to go out. And your goal is that your income minus your outgo, your expenses, should equal zero at the end of the month. So every dollar that you bring in on your LES or if your spouse has a job and you've got two incomes coming in, you tally up all that take-home pay for the month, and then you just start listing all of the different bills that you know you're going to have. We talk about, we start with how much money are you going to tithe or give to charity, and then we talk about the things that are the basic necessities in life: your housing, your food, your clothing, transportation needs, be it gas for the car or bus fare or however you get from one place to another. And then we start listing all the things that you know that you have that you're going to need to pay. It could be your gym memberships, your going out to eat and your restaurant bills, or all the credit card bills that you need to pay, or personal loans or car loans, things like that. And really you just start from the top with the total amount of money that's going to be deposited in your account for that month, and you start subtracting these things down and down and down it goes until you get to the bottom. And if you're doing things right, you have money left over. And that money can go towards your retirement or extra money for Christmas gifts or that vacation you want to take your wife on next summer. Or you might find yourself that you don't have enough money left over to pay all the bills you've got. And those are the people that I really want to work with to try to find out, okay, you've got that deficit. You know, you could easily throw out that credit card and pay for things that way, but that's never going to get you going forward. That's always going to keep you stuck where you're at. So then we need to start to make some serious decisions about everything else on the budget. What can you reduce? What can you delay? And what can you eliminate in order to make all your income minus your expenses equal zero? And it really takes nothing more than that pad of paper, a pen, and the calculator.
Well, and you both have to be on the same page, too. I mean, that's the one thing that I found, Bill, and it was, you know, there were two reasons for my divorce, but one of them was not being able to be on the same page financially. And when one is committed to saving and putting together a retirement and things for the future, and the other one isn't, that's, to me, one of the biggest conversations that's like, or the biggest hurdle, like, people need to get over even before they can put the pen and paper down and really start having a conversation.
You're absolutely right. And a lot of military families that I work with are dealing with just that. They've got a spouse at home who sees things and she has a lot of anxiety about just looking at the money and looking at the expenses and knowing that they're not going in the right direction. And then she's got a service member who's perhaps deployed or going someplace TDY for the month, and they can't even talk about it because, one, they're not on the same page, and two, they're in different locations. When my wife and I finally had the pivot point in our lives where we decided we had to do something to change, I was deployed to Iraq, and she was back home in Georgia. And we were doing a lot of this over emails back and forth where she would write down some notes about the expenses that we would have for that particular month and send them to me, and I would crunch some numbers and throw it into a spreadsheet or just in an email and send it back to her, and somehow we made it work. For us, for us, we were able to talk things through, but so many people need that objective third party to come in and just say, hey, look, something's got to change. You know, you both want the same things, but we've got to find that place in the middle where the two of you can agree upon and build upon that.
That is so hard. And identifying, the essentials at the beginning, what are things that are comfortable, and then, like you say, what are the things that you can either reduce or eliminate toward the end. Bill, we've got a break coming up, so we want you to hang on, and we're going to be right back after this break on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Thank you.
We've got lots more ahead. Stay with us on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Do you ever wonder if you're the only woman who runs errands in her yoga pants so it will look like she went to the gym? Or how about the only mom who feeds her kids raw cookie dough? Or are you the only one who cooks her family cold cereal for dinner? Do you need more laughter and less loudness? More self-love and less self-loathing? More joy and less judgment? You're not alone. Come to the living room, a place where we get comfy, candid, and confident together. Come seeking sanctuary and leave feeling renewed. We're saving a seat for you. Give yourself some living room today.
Airplanes first began carrying passengers, everyone was treated to first-class accommodations. Caviar and sandwiches were presented on porcelain plates, with beverages served in crystal. Flying was truly a special event, as passengers wore suits and evening dresses. What do you call a person who is afraid to fly? An aeroacrophobic. The airlines required stewardesses to be unmarried, and many were nurses as well. To be a pilot was respected and revered. What do you call a person who chooses a career based on the glamorous image it conveys? A MODOK. A typical flight in those days from London to Singapore would cost over $17,000 today and take 8 days. What's another word for jet lag? Dysrhythmia.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
We're back with more great conversation on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Hey, Military Moms, this is Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd of Military Mom Talk Radio. We're visiting today with the author, and I'm going to get this right, Rob. I botched it like 3 times. The author of How to Be a Millionaire Military Family by Bill Lockard, a retired lieutenant colonel. Now, one of the things with these books, Rob, and I know I feel this way, when I see finances, I think math. Then when I think math, I start to hyperventilate. And then it's hard for me to wrap my mind around the fact that I could read one of these books, understand it, and then apply it. But, because it's written, like by a military guy, I'm like, okay, well, that kind of gives me a little comfort and hope.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I was going to start to say in the when we were on commercial break was sometimes I think the biggest barrier, at least it was for me when I was younger, I think of financial planning and financial budgeting and putting money aside is that, I've got to have hundreds of dollars to start setting aside. It may be putting $5 aside. It may be years ago when we had Christmas clubs and you'd put the $2 or the $5, whatever was left out of the grocery money went into the Christmas club. And that way you had a little bit of money just before the holidays. And I think that's probably a misnomer, is thinking you have to have a lot of money to start this kind of budget savings. Do you find that, Bill, that people sometimes are a little standoffish, thinking they have to have a whole lot of money to start setting aside?
Yeah, I think they do. And, I could tell you that my book is anything but complicated or hard to read. You take an artilleryman like me who just I wanted to write this book that anybody could read it and understand it, and that's why I kept it as simple and as plain spoken as I possibly could. It's only 55 pages long, and it will probably take you about an hour or so to read it. And we talk about things that just a little couple, you don't need a whole lot of money to start something like this. You just need that little drip of water constantly going into the bucket, and it will eventually fill up the bucket. It's very easy to read. It's got some common sense lessons in there that I experienced myself throughout my 21-year career. So I'm trying to pass that along. A lot of people who have read it have told me that they can really and easily identify with some of the lessons that I speak about in my book. And it's really just a matter of taking control of your money so that over the course of a 20-year or 20-plus year career in the military, your money will grow for you. It's not going to happen overnight, and you're not going to need, some huge amount of money to invest in some risky type of investment plan in order to get this benefit. It's just simple things that you could do throughout your career to eliminate the anxiety that financial problems can cause and allow it to grow over time, so that when you take off the uniform for that last time, you've got this huge nest egg waiting for you, as I said earlier, to support you and allow you to follow your passions in life.
So one of the things that you said in your book, and this was something that kind of blew my mind, because, in alignment with Rob saying, you have to have all this money to retire, or you got to think of saving like $10,000 a month, some crazy number like that. When you crunch the numbers in your ebook, you show how a military family can retire from the military in their 40s with $1 million nest egg. That kind of blew my mind. I got to be honest. I couldn't seem to think that way, going, do you not eat? Do you not have children? Do you live in a tent?
Oh, no, nothing like that. What it really is that and today, military families today have a couple of tools that they can leverage. One is an IRA account, an individual retirement arrangement account that they set up outside of the military, and the other is the thrift savings plan that when I first was commissioned back in 1989, the TSP was not available to any military people. It wasn't until I was well past my midway point that the TSP became available for military folks. And those two tools, and the way I use those two tools to show people that, if you set money aside in both those and take advantage of both those tools, you can have that huge $1 million nest egg at the end of your military career. And it doesn't matter if you start off later in your career or not. I really didn't get going into it until I was well into my 15th, 16th year in the military that my wife and I finally started getting serious about taking control of our finances. And we ended up, now living with that size of a nest egg in our, to support us in what our dreams and our passions are. So I get excited when I hear about very young military couples reading my book, but it's for anybody in the military at any stage in their military career. It gives you really down-to-earth lessons and common sense approaches of how to use your money. It's geared towards military families because it's written in that kind of framework of how military people think. You got to have your mission. You got to know what your enemy forces are doing against you. You got to know what your friendly forces and your reserve forces can do for you in order for you to accomplish that mission. And it talks about things about how you can leverage these two tools. I talked about the TSP and the IRAs. It also talks about how to make that budget. It really breaks down the easiest way to make a budget so that you can just get it done and build on your experience so that within 6 months to a year of doing budgets, it's second nature. It talks about the importance of giving back, to giving money to charities that are important to you. And it talks about how to keep away from the dangers of debt that can just steal your money before you're even able to make any type of use of it. So there's a lot of lesson plans in there. There's a lot of charts and graphs. I'm not just talking about things without backing it up with some numbers, but the numbers that I'm showing are very easy to understand. Like I said, it will take you about an hour to an hour and a half to read this book. It's 99 cents. I haven't raised the price on it because I want to ensure that your listeners could take advantage of that very low 99 cents, almost free cost of this book. And with each purchase of the book, there's a special offer there that you can talk directly to me, and I can produce a report for you that's at a $25 value for people. Once they buy the book and they contact me, I'll produce a report that's specifically tailored to the information that that my readers provide to me, and that's a $25 value to them, but it's free for purchasing my book.
That's a value right there. That's an incredible value.
Yeah.
Bill, how often would you consider reevaluating your budget? You may start out, okay, I've got this, and this that I know I need to pay, and I've got a budget that's set. Now, over the course of a few years, that budget's going to change. Do you recommend people revisiting that budget on a regular basis?
I can tell you that my wife and I have been doing budgets since 2006 every month. And every month we tweak our budget to make sure we're not forgetting anything.
Oh, really?
To make sure, if there's anything that can be eliminated is. Just like, great example is, when your kids are in elementary school, they probably had, fees for, dance lessons or for, Pee-wee football leagues, et cetera. But now my oldest child, my daughter's 16. She doesn't necessarily do these, and she's got a job of her own, and she's going direct from school to her job. So my wife and I always tweak our budget to make sure that it's up to date with the most relevant and most current expenses and incomes. And also, you need to revisit your budget because, over the course of a military career, you're going to get pay grades, pay increases. You're going to go, you're going to get promotions, and a military spouse might find something that's her passion that she wants to pursue and bring in extra income that way as well. So you always want to make sure that your budget is up to date. And again, after about 6 months or so, it becomes second nature. You don't take very much time doing it at all.
That's a little of a relief. I think so many times people think, I've got this thing I've got to abide by, and every month it's going to be money that I don't have or I can't find, and just knowing that yes, I can start out with a very small contribution, a very small set aside amount, change it every month. All of a sudden, if you've got the emergency, someone's in the hospital, or you get flat tires, or you have those incidentals. We've all had to get
$600 dental bill for my youngest kid who won't brush his teeth.
Dental bills, all of those kinds of things. It's true. We do flex, so we know that we can maybe back up a little bit, but we're not going to lose all that we've worked for just because you might have a month that you've got to back up and kind of revisit things. It's very flexible, just like our sleep number bed. It's very flexible. We can change that number every night if we need to. We want to make sure that everybody visits you, Bill, at your website, which is www.financial227support.com. We're today with Bill Lockard, a retired lieutenant colonel who served in the Army on active duty for 21 years, but of his expertise is now a trained financial coach. And we really do want you to visit Amazon. We can find it right on Amazon, Bill, correct?
You can find it right on Amazon. Just go in there and tap in How to Be a Millionaire Military Family in the search engine. It'll take you right to it. And again, it's still priced at 99 cents. It's practically free, and it comes with a free offer valued at $25. It will be shipped to you, directly to your Kindle or your reading device, and you could be reading it right then and there to get all the information and all the common sense lessons that I'm trying to reach back and share with my fellow military men and women.
That's
and
awesome.
It's also on Kindle Unlimited. I just want to say I just logged in, and you can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited if you participate in that monthly reading program like I do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to know. That's wonderful to know. Well, we've got more with Bill Lockard on the other side of the break. We're going to head out, but do stay tuned. We've got another segment right after the break right here on Military Mom Talk Radio. So stay tuned. We'd love to hear from you. Check us out at militarymomtalkradio.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook. Our shows are available on iTunes anytime from 0-100 hours to 23:59. For now, stay right where you are. There's more Military Mom Talk Radio after these messages.
LinkedIn. It's a great tool and a great way to do business in today's social media driven world. And Carol McManus is the LinkedIn Lady with the LinkedIn Lady Show. Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern on allbusinessradionetwork.com. The LinkedIn Lady Show is designed to inform, inspire, and educate businesses. Every social media site has a specific demographic, personality, and purpose. And the LinkedIn Lady will interview a variety of guests, such as business owners who can showcase their business and talk about how they use social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, Pinterest, and of course, LinkedIn. For more on Carol and the show, check out her website, LinkedInLady.com. As trends change and new applications become available, the LinkedIn Lady Show will bring that information to you in an easy-to-use, fun, and engaging way. Every Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern, it's the LinkedIn Lady Show with Carol McManus on allbusinessradionetwork.com.
It's words you never heard.
Derek Thompson, co-founder of the Save the Elephant Foundation, was taking a rescued elephant named Kamla for a walk along the river. As they were walking, Derek decided to stop and take a dip in the water. But when he called to Kamla, who was waiting on the shore, the elephant thought he was in trouble and came running to his rescue. Kamla charged through the water, sheltering him with her body and offering her trunk for him to hold on to. What's another word for a trained elephant? A kunki. Elephant trainers in Asia are known as mahouts. And the padded seat or saddle used to ride on an elephant is called a howdah. Kamla and her mother, Bai Tui, are among the 70 elephants the Foundation has rescued since its inception.
It's merging and
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
We're back with more great conversation on Military Mom Talk Radio.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Robin Boyd, and we have been talking to Bill Lockard. Now, if you guys have just joined us or you missed the first 3/4 of today's show, you can find us at iTunes under Military Mom Talk Radio. You can also go to our website, militarymomtalkradio.com. The book we're talking about today is How to Be a Millionaire Military Family, the proven way to retire as a millionaire after your military career. Now, what's cool about this book is it's written by LTC, William Lockard. He's U.S. Army retired, and the book is priced at 99 cents, or you can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited. And as he had put down earlier in our show, we're talking about 50 pages written so it's easy to understand and not to be frightened, because I know I'm scared about military things, or I'm scared about financial things. Military I'm down with, but financial, boy, you can scare the pants off me. One of the things, Rob, that I wanted to learn from Bill today is that there's certain commonalities, and I see this in overspending. When I talk to my girlfriends, we all spend way too much on handbags and shoes and not enough about bras and underwear. So I know that there's trends out there for the military family in overspending. Bill, what do you see as some of the areas that people listening today could go, even if I cut back 25 or 50% on what I'm spending there, I might have more residual income to put away for the future that can grow along with my savings?
Yeah, well, the big picture answer to that is that all military families, be it brand new enlisted people or seasoned officers or senior non-commissioned officers, they need to stay away from credit cards and debt of any kind. I haven't had a credit card since 2006. My wife and I made the decision just to cut them up and close them out and be done with them, because credit cards just make it too darn easy to purchase things you don't need. You go into a PX or an AV store, you see something, and all it will take is just a swipe of your credit card or your AV Star card or what have you, and you can have it home in a matter of minutes. But the fact of the matter is, and what I talk about in my book is that purchase is going to stay with you forever. You're going to be making payments on a piece of equipment that's really going to be outdated by the time before you even pay it off. So there's a lot of temptations out there. There's so much marketing going on to young soldiers about how they can purchase something for zero down, or they can get a credit card in their name with a huge credit limit. But it really pays, and it's hard. I know it's hard, but it really pays big dividends to stay away from credit cards completely, so that if you need something, if you want something, save up the cash and buy it with cash. Don't rely on the credit cards, because as I show in my book, the interest payments that you're making on the credit cards will eat away any interest that your retirement savings or your savings in your bank account are going to earn for you. Another thing I can think of, and this is from, again, my own experience, is just brown bagging it for lunches during the course of the week. So many times you go off post because you want to just grab a quick meal at a local buffet or at a fast food restaurant or any place on post or off post. Man, that just digs right into whatever money you have into your wallet. And before you know it, you're spending a good hunk of your take-home pay just on eating out every day. Nothing wrong with just taking making leftovers from last night's dinner into your lunch for tomorrow. I've learned that lesson the hard way, but now I'm a true believer. Whatever we had for dinner tonight is going to be tomorrow's lunch, and if not, then I can spread some peanut butter on a couple of slices of bread and take that with me. It's not only is it better for your wallet, but it's probably better for your health as well.
Well, and one of the things, Bill, that I noticed when I, listened to what you were talking about, there are times like I'm stuck between soccer and baseball and we're running in between. There's no way to get home and get the kids. But one of the practices that I use is I keep those coupons that they sell, like the fast food coupons have things in the paper and the flyers. They're in your inbox. They're in everywhere. I take those and I stuff them in this little bag in my car. It's just a little, sits in between the seats. And if we have to stop somewhere at fast food, and I'm just going to say, Subway hasn't sponsored this, but Subway runs promotions all the time, and I don't buy anything unless I have a coupon or a promotion. And if the kids say, "Mom, can we stop?" I look in there and go, "No, we can't. No coupons." But we were able to feed the four of us. This humiliated my kids, but we went into this Jack in the Box, and I had 4 coupons. I handed each, my dad, my 2 kids, and myself a coupon. I'm like, "Go up and get the special." Well, the 4 of us ate for $6, which normally would be $20. I mean, it was crazy if you just pay attention.
And don't get me wrong. I love, I'll eat me some fast food, and enjoy it, or go out and get a good steak at a steakhouse, as much as the next person. But my point is that you've got tools that you can rely upon to help you. If you want to get serious about your finances and you want to get serious about winning at the game of financing, of personal finances, then there's ways around spending money on things you don't necessarily have to spend money on. And it just pays huge dividends in the short term and the long term to try to find ways to eliminate things that are not essential in your life. Is it really essential to get that Starbucks coffee or that expensive meal for lunch every day of the week, or can you find alternatives and use that money in a more productive and efficient way? It's a personal choice, and sometimes it's kind of hard to make on your own. But having a financial coach who can listen to you and be an objective third party who's not going to make judgments on you, but just help you strategize and plan for the future can really help you out and pay can pay some big dividends in and of itself.
It really does take a little effort. And I think if you're determined and if you know that this has got to change, if you know you're just in the hole every month, you're not making any ends meet, there's got to be a change. And it's going to take it's the same as if you're going on a diet and you really need to lose the weight, not just for vanity reasons, but let's say you've got a procedure and you've got to lose those 30 pounds before the procedure. That's serious. You really need to do it. And if you're not making ends meet at the end of the month, this is serious. You really got to do it. It does take some discipline, doesn't it, Bill?
Oh, it certainly does. But, it's part of what I think makes a person a better soldier or sailor or Marine or airman. If you don't have the anxiety hanging over your head about how you're going to get through the month and paying all your bills, if you've got your financial house in order, think how much more energy you could place towards your career and towards your relationship with your spouse and with your kids, with everything that's important in your life. If you can eliminate this one stressor, the financial stress in your life, where could that energy go towards? What can you put it towards? You could be such an inspiration to younger soldiers or to your own peers or the people above you. You could focus energy on doing things that you want to do that you thought you'd never be able to obtain in your military career. You could reach heights that you wouldn't think possible if you could just get rid of this one thing in your life that you can take control of. You can make the decision that we're going to get out of debt, we're going to have a plan, and I'm not going to lose any more sleep over our finances anymore.
And one of the things that happens, Bill, is when you get your kids on board with this, with a new way of spending, which had to happen after my divorce. I want to talk about kids for a second here, because this is Military Mom Talk Radio. When I got my kids on board with, we're going to make some changes, they revolted in the first. There was some changes that needed to be made. But what I found was in choosing low or no cost activities, we did a lot more as a family. And so that was one of the big added benefits of restructuring our spending, where we used to, pay for a movie or pay for something. We'd all go sit and do whatever. Now I pack lunches. We go for a hike on a different trail, up along the ocean, and everybody has a great time. It's free. So you can do this in a way that your kids will not hate you.
Absolutely. And I think they'll find that your kids will figure out in a very short time just how special it is that you're making the effort to spend time directly with them, and the fact that you're making positive changes within your family structure so that they can live a happier and more free of stress and anxiety. I can tell you that people I work with, they're concerned about their kids. They're concerned about, well, what am I leaving my kids? What type of example am I setting for my kids? And we work through ways to make sure that even though it is a low cost or a no cost type of outing that they're doing with them, their kids are picking up on the lessons that they're teaching themselves at the time. And I think it builds better generations to come of kids who can be more self-reliant and not have to worry about such things that their moms and dads did.
I think you're right, Bill. It's so important for us to give those instructions to kids, that we're giving them this gift to be able to have them understand a respect for money before they get into the hole, so that they can be more fruitful as their life goes on. Bill, we're so pleased that you were with us today. We do have to wrap our show. Bill Lockard, we want you to visit him at financial227support.com. We want you to find his book, How to Be a Millionaire Military Family, on Amazon, or as Sandra said, you'll find it on Kindle, but on Amazon, 99 cents. And don't forget that free offer valued at $25 for him to help you with that profile. We're so pleased that he's been with us today. We also want to encourage you to visit your Sleep Number store near you. Go to sleepnumber.com and make sure you let them know you heard all about their specials on Military Mom Talk Radio. That special of the Queen Sleep Number Classic Special, which is just $15.99. One more week for the military special for veterans and military active duty. So be sure to stop in, and we hope you'll be with us again next week here on Military Mom Talk Radio. Thanks for tuning in to Military Mom Talk Radio. Want more information? Check us out at militarymomtalkradio.com or find us on iTunes for more than 200 free episodes. Drop us an email or find us on Facebook. We are looking forward to another great discussion. We hope you'll join us on Military Mom